Welcome to WOGE'S Folk Tales, the channel for original and premium African tales and folklores with moral lessons. Subscribe for premium content. In the small village of Umuahia, nestled deep within the verdant landscapes of Nigeria, there lived a young girl named Adaora. She was known for her curiosity and her boundless spirit, traits that often led her into the heart of the forest that bordered her village. Adaora had always felt a deep connection to the forest, its mysteries calling to her in a way she couldn't explain. One sweltering afternoon, as the sun beat down mercilessly, Adaora decided to venture further into the forest than she ever had before. The village was in the grip of a terrible drought, the riverbeds cracked and dry, and the crops withering under the relentless heat. The elders of Umuahia had tried everything, from traditional dances to prayers. But the sky remained stubbornly cloudless. Determined to find some solace or perhaps a solution, Adaora walked deeper into the woods. The trees grew denser, their canopies forming a thick green roof that offered a welcome respite from the burning sun. She followed a narrow, winding path that seemed almost to beckon her forward, leading her to a clearing she had never seen before. In the center of this clearing stood a solitary, ancient tree, its bark gnarled and twisted with age. At the base of the tree, partially buried in the earth, was an old, dusty drum. Its surface was intricately carved with symbols and images of animals and spirits. Adaora's eyes widened with wonder as she approached it. She knelt down and touched the drum's surface, feeling a strange energy pulse through her fingertips. It was as if the drum was alive. Curiosity getting the better of her, Adaora picked up the drum and gave it a gentle tap. To her astonishment, the drum responded with a resonant, melodic tone that seemed to reverberate through the entire forest. As the sound echoed away, the forest grew unnaturally quiet. Then from the shadows emerged a figure cloaked in leaves and vines, a spirit of the forest. "Who dares to play the drum of the ancients?" the spirit asked in a voice that was both gentle and powerful. "I am Adaora of Umuahia," she replied, her voice trembling slightly. "I didn't mean to intrude. I was only curious." The spirit's eyes softened. "Curiosity is not a crime, young one. This drum is a gift, but also a responsibility. It has the power to communicate with the animals and the spirits. You have awakened it, and now you must use it wisely." Adaora's heart raced with excitement and fear. "But what must I do?" "The drum has chosen you, Adaora. With it you can summon the spirits and speak with the animals. Your village suffers from a drought, does it not?" "Yes," Adaora replied, hope flickering in her chest. "Then your quest is clear. You must seek the help of the rain spirits and the creatures of the forest. Only they can bring water to your land." With that, the spirit faded back into the shadows, leaving Adaora alone with the drum. She took a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves. She had a mission now, a purpose. Slinging the drum over her shoulder, she began her journey back to the village, her mind racing with possibilities. When Adaora returned to Umuahia, she found the villagers gathered in the square, their faces lined with worry. She stepped forward and told them of her discovery, showing them the drum. Many were skeptical, but the elders, recognizing the ancient symbols on the drum, believed in its power. That night, under the light of a full moon, Adaora sat in the center of the village and began to play the drum. The rhythm she created was hypnotic, a blend of beats that seemed to speak directly to the soul. As the sound carried through the air, the villagers watched in awe as animals from the surrounding forest began to emerge from the shadows, drawn to the music. First came the birds, their vibrant plumage shimmering in the moonlight. They perched on rooftops and trees, their eyes fixed on Adaora. Next, the small mammals, rabbits, squirrels, and even a pair of foxes gathered around her, their ears twitching in curiosity. Adaora continued to play, her hands moving almost of their own accord. She felt a connection to the animals, understanding their emotions and intentions. With a nod, she invited them to speak. A wise old owl, perched on a nearby branch, hooted softly. "We have heard your call, young one. What do you seek from us?" "Our village is suffering from a terrible drought," Adaora explained. "We need water to survive. Can you help us?" The animals conferred among themselves, a chorus of chirps, growls, and whispers filling the air. After a moment, the owl spoke again. "The rain spirits are elusive, but they are not beyond our reach. We will guide you to the sacred grove where they reside. There, you must plead your case." Grateful for their assistance, Adaora thanked the animals and prepared for the journey ahead. The next morning, with the drum strapped securely to her back, she set out with a small group of villagers and animal guides. They travelled for days, crossing rivers and climbing hills, following the signs left by their animal companions. Finally, they arrived at the sacred grove, a place of immense beauty and tranquility. The air was cool and fragrant with the scent of blooming flowers. At the center of the grove was a crystal-clear pond, its waters shimmering in the sunlight. Surrounding the pond were the rain spirits, their forms ethereal and ever-changing. Adaora stepped forward, her heart pounding in her chest. She knelt by the pond and began to play the drum, pouring all her hopes and fears into the rhythm. The spirits listened, their expressions unreadable. When she finished, one of the spirits, a tall figure with eyes like storm clouds, approached her. "You have played the drum well, Adaora of Umuahia," the spirit said. "But why should we grant your village rain? What will you give in return?" Adaora thought for a moment, then replied, "We will honor the forest and protect its creatures. We will ensure that the balance between our village and nature is maintained. This, I promise." The spirit considered her words, then nodded. "Very well. We will grant your request. But remember, the balance must be kept. Should your village forget its promise, the drought will return." With a wave of the spirit's hand, the skies above the grove darkened, and a soft rumble of thunder echoed through the air. Raindrops began to fall, gentle at first, then more steadily. Adaora and her companions watched in amazement as the rain spirits danced across the pond, their laughter mingling with the sound of the falling rain. The journey back to Umuahia was joyous. The rain followed them, revitalizing the land and filling the riverbeds. By the time they reached the village, the fields were lush and green once more, and the villagers rejoiced, their hearts filled with gratitude. True to her word, Adaora and the people of Umuahia worked to protect the forest and its inhabitants. They set aside portions of their land as sanctuaries for the animals and held regular ceremonies to honor the spirits. The talking drum was placed in a place of honor, a symbol of the bond between the village and the natural world. And so, the story of Adaora and the talking drum became a legend, passed down through generations. It served as a reminder of the power of courage, the importance of balance, and the magic that lies within the heart of the forest.